Hello friends and my dear students, myself Vandre Shital from Rayat Shikshan Sanstha's Rao Bahadur Narayan Rao Boravke College, Srirampur. This video is prepared under the support and guidance of Honorable Principal Dr. Gaikwad Sahib, and most important, these videos are prepared only for the educational purpose. In the previous video, we have seen about the structure of a chromosome, types of a chromosome. Now, let's start with the types of chromosome which are used to determine the sex in case of the human being. Means there are two types of the chromosomes they are present. The first, that is the X chromosome, and second, it is the Y chromosome. This X chromosome, it is always the longer in size, and Y chromosome is always shorter than X chromosome. Structurally, this both there looks like that. Suppose this is the diagram of the X chromosome is here, having the long sides, and this diagram is showing here it is the Y chromosome. This X chromosome is longer and this Y chromosome, it is the shorter. This X chromosome, it can be observed when it is showing, we have shown the types of chromosome on the basis of the centromere position. That is the telocentric, acrocentric, metacentric and submetacentric. That X chromosome, it is the metacentric chromosome. Means in this the centromere is present at the center, and this Y chromosome, it is the acrocentric chromosome. Here the centromere is too much away from the center, not exactly present at the center. Here the X chromosome and Y chromosome, they both shows the euchromatin as well as the heterochromatin region, but their content are the different, their percentage are different in both X and Y chromosome. This X chromosome contains the large amount of euchromatin. It contains the large amount of euchromatin, and it contains the less amount of euchromatin. Then it contains the less amount of heterochromatin, and it contains the more amount of heterochromatin. Now, what is that euchromatin and heterochromatin? These two regions, they are showing, or they can be differentiated under the microscope on the basis of the staining properties. This euchromatin is always showing the maximum content of the DNA, and this heterochromatin shows the less content of the DNA. Where the compact DNA is present in euchromatin, indirectly that X chromosome is having the more percentage of a DNA as compared to the Y chromosome. Here both the chromosomes, they are showing the homologous as well as the non-homologous region. Here suppose the some part of them, they are having the similar genes. Means the some part they are having the same shape, size. Therefore, this region is known as a homologous region, and where the alternative pair of the allele are absent, and therefore this region is known as a non-homologous region. This is about the difference and structure of the X and Y chromosome. Now come towards the next, that is the linkage. What is that linkage? This linkage is nothing but the tendency of two or more genes present on the same chromosome and they are inherited together. That is known as a linkage. Means the two genes, they are present on the same chromosome and they can be inherited together. This tendency is known as a linkage. It is having the two types, that is the complete linkage and incomplete linkage. And second type is incomplete linkage. This complete linkage, it shows the linked genes which are very closely or compactly arranged and they are compactly located on the chromosome. They do not separate easily. Suppose here it is the structure of a chromosome and on that the genes, they are having the very compact arrangement. They are get close, very close to each other, and their separation, it is the impossible or it cannot be get separated easily. These is showing the complete linkage. And where the incomplete linkage means what? Suppose these are the pairs of the chromosome and here the genes are widely distributed. They are not close, they are widely distributed and they can be easily separated, or there is a maximum chance of the crossing over in incomplete linkage, while here in complete linkage the crossing over chance is a very low. The example is showing in case of complete linkage, that is the X chromosome of a Drosophila male, it shows the complete linkage, and in the incomplete linkage the color of the gametes, they, because of this incomplete linkage, that color of the seed shape, it will be get changed. Their grain, they are having the different color and different shape. It is because of this incomplete linkage. Now the next, that is the sex linkage. The transmission of X as well as the Y-linked genes from parents to the offspring is known as a sex-linked genes or sex-linked inheritance. As we know that the two types of the chromosomes are present in body, means the autosomes as well as the sex chromosome, and autosomes perform the different characters, this sex chromosome performs the different character, that the genes which are related to that X as well as Y chromosome, and these genes, when they are get transferred from parents to the offspring, at that time they shows the linkage, means indirectly they are responsible to transmit the hereditary. Again it is divided into two types, that is the complete sex linkage here. In this type of the complete sex linkage, the genes which are located on the chromosomes, they are having the two regions, homologous and non-homologous, and in this type the genes, they are located on the non-homologous region. That is the very important, where these genes are located, they are located on non-homologous region of X as well as the Y chromosome, and they inherit together because there is a crossing over does not occur. There is a less chance of the crossing over, and these genes which are located on non-homologous region of X and Y chromosome, they inherit togetherly. There is a does not crossing over takes place. The example of this complete sex linkage, that is nothing but the color blindness, and this color blindness, it is showing the person unable to distinguish between the red as well as the green color. That type of color blindness is occur due to this Then the hemophilia, it is the another example of that. This hemophilia is known as a bleeder's disease. The next type, that is the complete sex linkage. The second type is the complete sex linkage. Here, just like the non-homologous region, here the genes are located on the homologous region of the X as well as the Y chromosome. Here in the complete sex linkage, the genes which are located on the homologous region of the X and Y chromosome. The example is nothing but the total color blindness, then nephritis, retinitis pigmentosa. Here they showing the incomplete sex linkage is there. Okay. Then come towards the Morgan's experiment. These scientists, they have described and identified the crossing over phenomenon. This crossing over is nothing but here the genes, they can be transferred from one chromosome to the another chromosome, and that crossing over takes place as we have studied in 11th standard, the different stages of the meiosis. After in meiosis, the different stages of the prophase first. In this prophase first, the patchitin is there, and during this patchitin stage here of the meiosis first, prophase first, this crossing over, that process takes place. Means this crossing over, it is the phenomenon in which where the newly combined new combination of a gene that will be get formed and parental combination, it will be get changed. This thing is get explained by Morgan in his experiment. That is, the crossing over is possible because of meiosis, because of this patchitin. Now this crossing over is again shows the synapse formation, tetrad formation, crossing over and terminalization. Suppose here the pair of the chromosome is there, and this pair of the chromosome, it undergoes the exchange of the genetic material where they can shows the crossing takes place between that, and at a specific point here the genetic material, it will be get exchanged, and at that point here the crossing over takes place. This point is known where the genes are get exchanged. It is also known as a chiasmata formation. Now the Morgan have explained that same concept in his experiment. What he has shown, the just like the Mendel have studied the monohybrid dihybrid cross, the Morgan have studied the experiment in the Drosophila melanogaster. This Drosophila melanogaster, why he have selected? Because it is easily cultured in laboratory, having the short life cycle. He can complete its life cycle within a 15 days, and the 2 to 3 progenies, the Morgan can be used for the study. He have selected the parent which is having this Drosophila having the character, that is the yellow bodied and the white-eyed female. Yellow bodied, white-eyed female, he get cross with the brown bodied red-eyed male. When these two Drosophila have get crossed, the same crossing have done just like the Mendel in dihybrid cross. he will get found the ratio is obtained same like Mendel 9:3:3:1. That ratio is obtained after the crossing of these two male as well as the female Drosophila. And what he have concluded during this experiment, he observed that the genes which are strongly linked, they shows the less recombination. Means the genes which are very closely located on the chromosome, suppose these pairs, they are very closely located on these chromosomes, they can show the less percentage of the recombination, and in this only they found the 1.3% recombination is there. In the secondly, he conclude that when there is the genes which are widely located, there is the maximum chance of the recombination is there. These genes, they are widely located and therefore there is a chance of the crossing over. Here the percentage of recombination he will found, that is the 37.2%. Means the maximum recombination is observed in the widely located genes and less recombination is observed in the closely located genes. This is about the Morgan's experiment. Now come towards the next, autosomal inheritance. This autosomal inheritance is related to the characters which are get transferred through the autosomes. Means as we know that the two types of the chromosomes are present in body, and the sex chromosome as well as the autosomes, and the characters which are related to that autosomes, they are responsible to causing the types of the inheritance. Let's take the example of the widow's peak. This widow's peak, it is the shows this disorder. It is showing the prominent V-shaped hairline, and this V-shaped hairline, it is determined by the autosomal dominant genes. That is, suppose these autosomal dominant genes are responsible for this widow's peak, and here the recessive gene, they are responsible for the straight hairline of a person. Then the next autosomal disorder, that is the phenylketonuria. It is caused due to, again, the recessive autosomal genes. When these genes are produced in homozygous condition, at that time the phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme is not get produced. Suppose the genes are the recessive, at that time the phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme is unable to produce, and it is not produced, which is required for the conversion of amino acid phenylalanine to tyrosine. Therefore, these derivatives accumulated in blood and cerebrospinal fluid. At this accumulation in the blood as well as the cerebrospinal fluid, it affects the brain, it affects the mental retardation. This is about the autosomal inheritance. Now come towards the next, that is the sex-linked inheritance. As we have seen the definition, that is the genes which are located on non-homologous region of the sex chromosome, they are known as a sex-linked genes, and the trait that are determined by these genes are called the sex-linked traits, and the inheritance which is get transferred through that X and Y chromosome, they are known as a X-linked inheritance as well as the Y-linked inheritance. Now we have seen the example related to the complete sex linkage, incomplete sex linkage, that is which genes they are responsible or which linkage is responsible to carry the some disorders. Now let's take the example related to the X-linked genes, that is the color blindness. This color blindness is nothing but where the person unable to distinguish between the red and green color. All the color they look like the gray. Here the X as well as the Y chromosomes, they are present or they represent these. The recessive genes are responsible to causing that type of the disorder. Suppose that type of the genotype is present in a female and this female it carries the dominant gene. For the color blindness, this dominant gene it is not showing the abnormality. This shows the condition this female is the normal female. Again that X is the carrier. The X-linked inheritance, it shows that the genes responsible for that disorder related to the X chromosome. Suppose here the dominant gene is again present in this Y, at that time this male is also the normal. Now suppose the one gene is a dominant present and second gene is the recessive. At that time this recessive gene is always acts as a carrier, means this female is the carrier of the disease, but she is not suffering from the disease, she is only the carrier of the disease. When both the genes are the recessive, at that time the 100% this female is the colorblind. Same thing is happen when this recessive gene is present in that male. At that time here this male it is the totally the colorblind. Now let's take the example when if the marriage takes place between the colorblind male as well as the normal female, what type of the progeny is get obtained? We can see this. Suppose let's take here the parents. This parents is nothing but here the male is the colorblind and the female is the normal. Now the genotype of these colorblind male is nothing but here the, as we know that X and Y it is the genotype of the male, but this it is the colorblind. Therefore the recessive gene is present here and this female is the normal. Therefore it shows the both the C are the capital or both the genes are the dominant are there. Now you have to prepare the gametes. Let's take the gametes of this. X small c, Y, X capital C or the dominant, and again X capital C. Now you have to find out the F1 generation. How the progeny is obtained in this F1 generation. Here get cross in between this X female is there, the dominant gene and the recessive gene. Again here let's take XX, the dominant and the recessive. Now here X, Y, the male is there having the dominant gene, and again this male is having the dominant gene. This is showing the genotype, but phenotypically here the female which are obtained, they are the carrier of the diseases, and these male, they are the normal in genotypically as well as the phenotypically. Okay, this is about the color blindness. Now come towards the next disorder, that is the hemophilia. This hemophilia, it is also known as a bleeder's disease. In this case, the person which carries the recessive gene responsible to the hemophilia, this person is unable to clot the blood. When any type of the injury is there, at that time these persons unable to clot the blood, and that is known as a bleeder's disease. Suppose the same thing is there, just like the color blindness, the recessive genes are responsible for the hemophilic condition. This female and that capital H is responsible for the dominancy. Both the genes are the dominant here. At that time, this female is the normal, means it does not suffer from the hemophilic condition. Now here, suppose one gene is dominant and second is the recessive. At that time, this female is again the carrier of the disease. He is self not suffering from the hemophilic condition, but he is the carrier of the disease. Then suppose both the genes are the recessive present. At that time, this female is the 100%, we can say it suffer from the hemophilia. That female is the hemophilic. The same thing related to the male, that is the genotype of this male, we know that X and Y. And if that X carries the dominant gene is there, at that time that dominant gene is responsible for the normal condition. This male, it is the normal. He is not suffering from the hemophilic condition, or males are never the carrier. They are always suffering from the disease, because that is the X-linked inheritance or X-linked diseases. Now, suppose the recessive gene is present, at that time this male is the hemophilic. Now take the example, suppose here the marriage takes place between the parents. They are having the condition just like this male, it is the hemophilic. Suppose male is the hemophilic and the female is the normal. At that time, we have to find out the F1 generation. Now, the genotype of the hemophilic male is X small h, because recessive gene is there, and Y, and this female is the normal and both the genes are the dominant. Now, find out the gametes of these. The first gamete X with the recessive gene and second gamete Y. Here the first gamete X with the dominant gene and second also the X with the dominant gene. Now find out the F1 generation here. This F1, it shows that X and X, the female is obtained, but this female is having the one gene is dominant and second is the recessive. Again, in the next cross, you will find this female is there one gene is the dominant and the second gene is the recessive. In the next progeny, X and Y, but that X it shows the dominant gene is there. Again X and Y, but this X is having the dominant gene. Means in the F1 progeny, here the females 50% and 50% males are there, but these 50% female, they are the carrier of the hemophilic. These females are the carrier of the hemophilic condition, and here these male, they are the normal, because here both the males, they are having the dominant genes. This is about the hemophilia. Now come towards the sex determination in human being. Now in this, as we know, the normal chromosome number present in the human being, the 46 chromosomes are present, or these 46 chromosomes, they are nothing but the 23 pairs. How these 23 pairs they are made up of? The 22 autosomes are present and one pair is of the sex chromosome is present. Here they found that is the total, you will get the 46 chromosomes present in case of the human being. Now the differences takes place in the male and female related to only this pairing, because in the female here the 44 autosomes are there and X type of the sex chromosome is there, and in male the 44 autosomes are there and XY type of the chromosome is present. Now how that determination takes place? Let's take the gamete preparation and the parent. Suppose the male parent get cross with the female. Here the genotype of the male, we know that it is the XY type, and here XX type. Prepare its gamete, that is the very simple to find out, and the 50% chance of the male child is there, 50% chance of the female child is there. The XY and XX, these gametes are get produced when the F1 you are finding here XX as well as the XX, means these both phenotypically you will find the female progeny is there. In the next offspring X and Y, again X and Y, here the 50% are the male offsprings are get produced. This is the simple sex determination in the human being. Now come towards the sex determination in the birds, but before that, here the female of, in case of the human being, is having the homozygous, means they are having the same chromosome, and male is the heterozygous because having the two different chromosomes. This condition it will be get reverse in the birds. Let's take the sex determination in the birds. Suppose male parent and the female parent. You have to write the genotype of the male as well as the female. This male, it shows the 2N plus ZZ type of the genotype, and this female, it shows 2N plus ZW. Here that male is the homogametic and this female is the heterogametic. You have to prepare the gametes N plus Z, and here N plus Z, N plus Z, N plus W. These 4 gametes are get formed. Find out the F1, N plus N, that is the 2N, and Z. Again 2N plus ZW, 2N plus ZZ, 2N plus ZW. That male, female, again female, means same thing is here. The 50% male and 50% female birds are get found out in the F1 progeny. Now come towards the sex determination in honeybees. This honeybees shows the different method of the sex determination. That is, it shows the haploid diploid method of the sex determination. How that? This female of the honeybee, it carries the diploid set of the chromosome, that is the 32 chromosomes are present, and this male, it carries the haploid set, that is the 16 chromosomes are present. When the process of the meiosis takes place at that site, during the process of meiosis, the chromosome number that will be get reduced, and here the haploid set of the gametes are get produced. Now here the process of the mitosis takes place in male, that will be found N is equal to 16. When the process of the fertilization takes place, at that time the diploid chromosome number, it will be get restored and form the female bee, that is the worker or the queen bee, and again the process of the meiosis is there, and the male bee, it will be get produced. This is about the haploid diploid method of the sex determination in honeybees. Thank you.